Hello and welcome to She TV, the place women come to become powerful from the inside out. And today I'm going to talk around the topic about whether feminine is strong or weak. Now, the reason why I wanted to start to talk on this topic is because I am a big advocate of what I call pulling the elephants out of the space. And one of the most unconscious beliefs or elephants in the space for so many women who I encounter is this belief, very unconsciously, that the feminine is weak. And it's not your fault. It's this indoctrination that has happened for us over millennia that has led us to believe that it's weak. And in fact, we've been led down that garden path toward the belief of it being weak, partly because we were put in situations where the power of it was attacked, murdered, buried, burnt, you name it. And we're talking about this collective unconscious experience for women that it's dangerous to be in the feminine. And the belief that it's dangerous to be in the feminine, it's dangerous to be in your power, actually ends up buried under the belief that it's weak. So what I'm essentially wanting to pass here today is, or discuss I should say, is that what's ended up happening and crept into our life, our consciousness over millennia, is that strength, power, success even, are masculine, and that meekness, submission, powerlessness or weakness is feminine. I'm here to tell you it couldn't be further from the truth. So let's rewind a little bit if we could. Now, I come from a strong spiritual background, training in spiritual energy, meditation, consciousness. I've read everything I can from Hinduism, Buddhism, throughout the ancient spiritual traditions across the West, from the Quran. Like, there's so much knowledge, even the Bible, within these texts, and there are many, many texts outside of these major texts that teach us about masculine and feminine consciousness. And the thing about masculine and feminine consciousness is they are these forces that are behind us, inside us, running through us, whether we're men or women, all of the time. Now, when society has done this thing where it's very unconsciously steered everyone, men and women, toward masculine consciousness being dominant, being the right thing, being the only thing that's going to get you what you want, that's when we're like a car that's steered off the freeway and we're just going down a path that we didn't intend to in the first place. So my intention here is always to help you steer back toward yourself, toward your power, toward your sense of fullness, alignedness with yourself. And if you enjoy my work, it's partly because you've already cognized somewhere or experienced somewhere that you're being led down a garden path that doesn't feel right to you anymore, isn't what you want for yourself. And the ramifications for that may be things like you're experiencing more and more exhaustion or burnout, or your libido is drying up, or you are literally drying up as a woman. And these things, somewhere inside, I think you know, are not going to get you what you want, okay? What you desire. Now, desire, I say desire because desire is such an important thing for us as women. Understanding our desire, deep diving into our desire, discovering ourselves and our power and our strength through our desire. If you're honest with yourself, you may very well have bought into that feminine is weak. Feminine is lesser than. Feminine is less powerful. Feminine is underneath. Feminine is not the way to be or go. Now, if you're anything like me, it took me a long time to get to where I not just believed it, but knew it, experienced it, embodied it, and started to live it. So it's okay if you're on the fence. It's okay if you're needing some coaching, some mentoring, some encouragement toward an experience of the fact that the feminine is powerful. So back, if I could, to masculine, feminine consciousness. They're good. They're something that we all need. They're something that are just there in our consciousness as people. This is what our spiritual experience is. We are immersed in masculine and feminine consciousness. And we're out of balance. I don't like to use the word balance a lot, because what I don't want you to get to is this concept that you just need to be kind of tiptoeing some balance between your inner masculine and feminine. It's more about flow, where we learn how to flow from the masculine into the feminine, and things are more fluid inside of ourselves, in our consciousness. If you're anything like I was very masculine dominant, 90% masculine, in the way I thought, the way I acted, and the way I moved, and unfortunately also in my relationships. But that's not the topic for today. And what ended up happening is my body just started to seize up and freeze up, despite the fact that I've been a dancer since I was 5, had done yoga asanas for 30 something years. And then it led to burning out, royally burning out. Like, I was out for years from that, okay? So as women, what we want to do is we want to take this, we don't want to kill or destroy this masculine experience. We want to bring in this whole other spectrum, which is the feminine. And what I hope never happens here for you is that you see what I teach you and what I'm passing to you is just more knowledge to go in your head. That's just feeding more of what we've already been taught to do, that everything's about thought, strategy, action, and everything about the head. You know, as I say again and again, feminine power is about what's happening from the neck down. And look, that's a broad concept, but it's to illustrate something that, okay, if you believe that your entire power, strength, success has resided here, or I'm pointing out to you that you've been experiencing your success, if you have been successful, just from this part of you, you even know that that's only, 10% of just the body, let alone the magnitude of consciousness, the magnitude of who you really are, which is actually beyond the boundaries of even the physical body and your energy. And so as we want to relearn, and I always say relearn because somewhere inside you do know feminine power, but you will not have necessarily tagged it as that, or recognized it as that, or understood it as that. And the great thing that creates great pain in my heart is things like sexuality, for example, have been attributed to the masculine, whereas that is 9/10 the realm of the feminine. Okay, that is actually the feminine. That is the power. Our power is in our engagement, our plugging into, our being filled up with life force. And sexual energy is just an aspect of life force. So to a large extent, we just have to decharge this thing about sex and sexuality as something that you've attributed, one, to masculine, or to being bad, or to being something you need to suppress, or something that's not okay. It's just life force. Think about it. We are literally created from the spark of life, from the union of a sperm and an egg. That is life force. That is sexual energy, that this force of life literally created you. So if you can start to wonder about that, oh, I am just the product of life force, I am the product of the union of the masculine and the feminine, then we can start to conceive of something more open, more fluid, in terms of how masculine energy and feminine energy works inside of us. Now again, my encouragement here with you, if you are attracted to this work and you are seeking to become more feminine, is, okay, you've kind of mastered the masculine piece. We can give ourselves a little bing, Thumbs up on that one. A little gold star we used to get in Australia when we'd done well on a project. Gold star. And yet there's this whole aspect of life that's been missing. And the thing is, the feminine is mysterious. It's deeply mysterious. It is actually of the order of the mysteries. And so the way that we understood and were trained in and taught about masculine and the beliefs around that, such as that it's strong and that's the only way you can be and operate and succeed, some of those maybe need to be fluidified a little bit. Just wonder that maybe those beliefs that you have been taught are not necessarily truth or accurate. And then you come here because you're wondering about this feminine power thing. What is my feminine power? What is my feminine energy? And you're dipping your toe in that. Okay, so I'd say that you come here because you're dipping your toe in feminine power and energy. You're curious, and that's beautiful. Curiosity is an incredible spiritual thing inside you. And I encourage you to stay with that curiosity, because the curiosity is the thing that will lead you toward what you want. They say in spiritual work that it's not about finding the answers that matters, it's about asking the right questions. It's about asking questions. So this curiosity is so important. The part of you that's just found your way here is seeking to understand, is curious about what is this thing? What is feminine power? I know that something's missing inside me without it, but I honestly don't know what it is. And I frankly have a whole lot of beliefs around it that I need to be dispelled before I'm gonna really dive in and not just dip my toe in, okay? So back to what I was saying there. When you realize that the feminine is power, it's literally the power source that we need to plug into in order to plug into this unlimited font of life that is right there inside of us, available to us to plug into. So all of that depletion that you may be experiencing, that dropping of your libido, that finding yourself doing, going, and operating from this more masculine or man mode part of yourself, you start to wonder, well, what if I started to operate my life more through plugging into this feminine power source? What if I just let myself wonder? I wonder if this is actually powerful and not weak. I wonder if this is something that would change the way I see life, the way I experience myself, the way I engage my body, the way I feel about myself. I wonder if in plugging into feminine power, if I'd actually start to get plugged into my purpose and feel myself back in alignment with myself, my sense of my life, my sense of a trajectory that feels aligned and full and joyful, where your enthusiasm can actually feel like it's got momentum rather than that you're fighting against something internally because of these beliefs that you've been passed for millennia. So what I'd love you to do right now is I would love you to think about some of these things. And we have to start with the beliefs, the elephants, right? We pull the elephants down of, where have I believed that feminine is weak? What sort of words or concepts have I associated with feminine versus words and concepts I've associated with as masculine? Now, what I'd love you to do today is put comments below on where you're being honest with yourself, where you believe the feminine is weak. And remember, when you have the courage to go out there and shine, you give others permission to do the same. So let's go out there and shine this week. Bye-bye for now.